Hi, everybody, and Happy New Year. I'm meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Weather in 5, and Weather in 5 is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 6317-561125 for the best prices anywhere in the New York City tri-state area on snow removal products, whether it's rock salt, and they got the lowest prices anywhere for that, and for very high quality snow melt products like Pelledo, Mag, ice pellets and flakes, and spreaders, shovels, snow blowers, etc. And I think that you might find that handy maybe for the end of this coming week from what I've been looking at over the next couple of days. So bear that in mind. 631-756-1125, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. We have a busy weather day on this Saturday, and I'm going to just turn the camera down just a little bit so you can see maybe JJ kind of peeks in there. There he goes. But we have a busy weather day today, and a day where we could see some widespread severe weather in the Tennessee Valley. These are areas that have been hit very hard in the last couple of months, particularly earlier in the month of December, with some devastating tornadoes. I'm not saying that that's going to repeat. Let's hope it doesn't. But we do have a slight to enhanced risk over much of the Deep South and the Tennessee Valley for today, extending into the southern and central Appalachians. For tomorrow, the risk area lessens and it shifts eastward from the Florida Panhandle northeastward to the Carolinas. So that is the storm system moving along to the east. So we've got a lot of watches and warnings up. We've got winter storm warnings up for northern Kansas, southeastern Nebraska, northern Missouri, southern Iowa, northern and northwestern Illinois, and that includes Chicago and into Wisconsin on the southern end of that. We've got a winter storm warning that includes Milwaukee. So very, very busy there. Winter weather advisories across Michigan, and then on up through northern Ohio and into upstate New York and in northern New England. Flash flood watches from Arkansas northeastward through the lower Ohio Valley. You can see a lot of those little red spots there with of counties. Numerous flash flood warnings up already, and we're not even at the midday hour yet. So this is as of midday. Weather is actually calming down somewhat in the west, and that is a positive as the upper air pattern begins to slowly but surely change, and everything is starting to shift over to the East Coast. So let's look at what's happening here. We've got a ton of clouds, obviously, with this storm that is coming out of the southern plains, fairly well defined here on the satellite as it moves to the northeast. You've got very warm tropical air, temperatures that are going to reach 80 or better, and record highs across the deep south with dew points well up into the 60s to trigger off that severe weather. And of course, on the other side, with cold air coming down from Canada, we have that developing snow. Here's the radar. Again, as of midday today, rain extending from southern New England westward across New Jersey, down to northern Virginia, through Pennsylvania, and heavy rains as you head into southern Indiana, southern Illinois, southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, and you're seeing the beginnings of what looks like an early squall line in western Tennessee. And on the northern fringe of this, in the lighter greens, that is all in the form of snow. And we're looking probably in terms of snow amounts in the areas that are under winter storm warnings, probably a 4 to 8 inch snowfall should just about cover it. Meanwhile, in terms of rain today and tonight in New England, we're seeing rainfall amounts anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to 1 1/4 inches, a little bit of a stripe of 1 1/4 inches there coming in over central New Jersey. Heavier rains in southern Virginia and North Carolina, and also in West Virginia, southwest into Kentucky, and extending down into northern Georgia on the order of about 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches. And the forever busy rain precip in the Pacific Northwest with snow in the mountains and rain on the coast. But it is lessening. We don't see that rain extending all the way down into California. So not too much really has changed in terms of the forecast logic over the next few days. We are pretty much in the same place with the system for tonight and maybe a follow-up system for later tomorrow. There's your first low. Winds up going east of Cape Cod by tomorrow morning. The southern part of this system, this front, is going to yield another wave that's going to develop, and we've got upper air energy that's swinging around to the east, and that's actually going to maybe create a band of snow there in parts of Tennessee and Alabama and into North Georgia and into the Carolina Mountains as the low moves northeastward to North Carolina. The GFS continues to be the only model trying to show some light snows here Monday morning. I'm going to probably just acknowledge the fact that I suppose it's possible that we could wind up on colder surfaces where you could get a coating or maybe up to about a half an inch. I'll cover for that now since it doesn't seem to want to get rid of it, even though the other models aren't really doing much with it. And with respect to this is one of the things I look at when we get systems like this. If you look at the 24-hour precip, okay? If you look at the 24-hour precip, so this is for Sunday night from 1 a.m. to Monday morning at 7 a.m. and beyond. There's very little precip here that's being produced where the GFS is showing that snow shield. We're talking about mostly a tenth of an inch or less, and in many cases, 0.05 of an inch or less. And it's got that light blue shading showing up in parts of Connecticut and the Hudson Valley where there's no measurable being produced. So that's another reason why I'm really skeptical about this. But that's going to bring colder air into the east. The low is going to move away, and then we'll get that out. Cold on Monday. Temperatures probably no higher than the low to mid 30s. We'll have some sunshine back. Tuesday looks good. A bit of a warm-up Wednesday ahead of another warm front, cold front. And then we start to see the pattern change perhaps bearing a little bit of fruit here for snow lovers as an upper air trough begins to swing around. We're going to get a cold frontal passage here early on Thursday. And then the upper trough is going to swing around and a low is going to develop to our south and east. And you see it here sitting along the Virginia coast with snow breaking out in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, down into Virginia. I think this has actually a fair chance of happening. It's not going to be a big event, but it is, I think, we've got a shot here of getting our first accumulating snows. I mean, if you want to just kind of look at the GFS in terms of what it produces for snow amounts, it's basically on the light side. The lighter blues are 3 inches, and you get into the purples, you're looking at 4, 5, or 6. So you could probably take those numbers and cut them in half. But I think this is potential maybe to be like a 2 to 4, 3 to 5 type snowfall. And we do have, by the way, some model support from this, from some of the other models, which is very important. For example, we have the icon, which is showing the same idea. This goes back, by the way, to what the European had a couple of days ago. But there you have it on the icon with the low south and east. And this is for, again, this is Thursday night into Friday as that low goes by. So I think there's a fair chance that this will be the first, maybe the first accumulating snows for the northeast and the coastal northeast of the northern mid-Atlantic, and then it's just going to turn cold and dry for next weekend. So it's got to do this eventually. It can't stay the way it's been forever. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. We won't have a Joe and Joe weather show today, but we will have a Joe and Joe weather show on Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. So be sure to tune in, and I hope your New Year's Day is great, and you're enjoying yourselves at maybe a nice dinner with family, or perhaps you're recovering from a hangover, or if you're like me, you're just not recovering from anything other than the fact that you're still dealing with the physical ailments that I'm dealing with. But nonetheless, Happy New Year, and we'll see you later.